Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed sadness at the devastation caused by flood in Bayelsa, urging all emergency bodies to provide all necessary assistance to the state. The president, in a statement by his spokesman, Malam Garuba Shehu, on Sunday in Abuja, extended the nation's condolences to the families of the victims and all those affected by the natural disaster, and directed all federal agencies dealing with rescue and disaster management to offer all assistance to help people hit by the floods. Buhari, however, blamed buildings on water channels, disregard for warning by the National Emergency Management Agency, and the changes to weather caused by climate change as being the major causes of the floods across the country. Meanwhile, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, has revealed that 603 persons have been killed as a result of floods. 140,000 hectares of farmlands have been destroyed, while over 2.5 million persons have so far been affected by the ravaging flood across the country. Speaking on Sunday in Abuja while briefing newsmen on the flood situation, the minister said efforts have been made by the ministry and relevant agencies to evacuate and also distribute relief items to those affected.
As of today, 2,504,095 persons, those that have been affected nationwide. And number of displaced persons nationwide are 1,302,589 persons affected and displaced. Number of injuries, 2,407. Number of deaths, 603. Number of houses that are partially damaged, 121,318. Number of houses that are totally damaged, 82,053.
The minister further disclosed that the federal government has set up a high-level committee to meet with the Cameroonian government to initiate a bilateral discussion with its authorities on the periodic opening of the Lagdo Dam, which is adversely affecting Nigeria.
Stakeholders should also work within their respective mandates to prevent deaths due to flood or other health-related disasters that are aftermath. We also resolved that we must initiate a bilateral discussion with authorities in Cameroon next month on the periodic opening of the Lagdo Dam. The delegation to Cameroon to be led by the Permanent Secretary, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be requested to facilitate this bilateral.
Sadiya, however, called on state governments, local government areas and communities to prepare by evacuating people to high grounds, provide tents and relief materials, fresh water as well as medical supply for possible outbreak of disease. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, says it called off its 8-month strike due to a court order and appeals from Nigerians. A court of appeal had ordered the striking lecturers to return to class after the National Industrial Court ruled against the union in a case brought to it by the federal government. However, the union's national president, Emmanuel Oshodeke, said the decision to resume was not because issues brought by the lecturers were fully addressed. Oshodeke, who blamed the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, for taking the matter to court, argued that the best way to tackle trade disputes involving academics is negotiation. He, however, said the resuming lecturers may be indifferent going back to class if the no work, no pay policy of the federal government stands. The broadcasting organizations of Nigeria, BON, and the National Broadcasting Commission, the NBC, have faulted the Zamfara state government's shutting down of broadcast houses. The Zamfara government had on Saturday shut down the stations for covering the political event of the People's Democratic Party governorship candidate Dauda Lawal. But in separate reactions, the bodies said the move is uncalled for. Bond said it received the development with disbelief, stating that the governor not only lacks the constitutional power to issue such an order, but described the order as an arbitrary misuse of executive power. On its part, the National Broadcasting Commission clearly notified the state government of the gravity of the illegality and requested it to reverse the directive and apologize to the people of the state. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has denied reports claiming he got personal jets from some eminent Nigerians for his campaign. Obi, a former governor of Anambra State, said the claims, which have gone viral on social media, are untrue. Recently, several social media reports have alluded that some eminent Nigerians had donated their personal jets for his use during his campaign, and according to Obi, inasmuch as he appreciated the expression of such hopes, he had not received any such offer. All candidates of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, who took part in the just concluded Osun local government election have been declared elected unopposed. Chairman of the Osun Independent Electoral Commission, Segun Oladiton, made this known in Osogbo while presenting certificates of return to all the winners in the local government election on Sunday. The OCEC chairman said the candidates were declared winners, having fulfilled necessary constitutional and electoral requirements. Speaking on vote apathy, Oladiton noted that political parties who fail to sensitize and mobilize the electorate for election should be blamed for the phenomenon and not the election management body. Biodun Oyèbánjí has taken his oath of office as the Ekiti State Governor. He was sworn in by the Chief Judge of Ekiti State, Honorable Justice Oyewole Adeyeye, at exactly 12:53 p.m. on Sunday, amid cheers from the mammoth crowd present. Oyèbánjí served as the former secretary to the state governor under the administration of Fayemi before he resigned to pick up the All Progressives Congress APC governorship ticket. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has approved an increment of 100% on bursary payable to students of Lagos State origin in tertiary institutions across the country. The Executive Secretary, Lagos State Scholarship Board, Abdulrahman Lekki, said in a statement on Sunday that the increment, which would take effect from 2022-2023 academic session, was aimed at supporting the educational needs of students of Lagos State origin to let them cope with the present economic reality. Lekki also disclosed that the government at the just concluded State Economic Summit, known as Mbeti Summit, had approved the resolutions on the establishment of Lagos Diaspora Scholarship Fund aimed at providing scholarship and bursary benefits generally to all Lagos State resident students in tertiary institutions in any part of the country to support their education. The Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, LASCOPA, said it has sealed a supermarket, Sinoja Associate Superstores, located at 18 Latif Salami Street, Ajao Estate, over the display of expired products on its shelves. The general manager of LASCOPA, Folabi Sholebo, disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists on Sunday, adding that the move was part of the agency's efforts to clamp down on expired products in the state. Sholebo also urged residents to always check the information contained on the labels of items about to be purchased and report stores where expired products were sold in Lagos State. You're still listening to the World News this morning. Let's check out some other stories on the foreign scene. A 3-week lockdown has been declared in 2 districts of Uganda as the country battles an Ebola outbreak. The move is a U-turn for Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni, who previously said there was no need for such measures. Bars, nightclubs, places of worship and entertainment venues will be closed in Mubende and neighboring Kasanda, and the curfew will come into force. This latest outbreak has killed 19 people among 58 recorded cases. However, the real number of deaths and cases may be higher. The United Nations Refugee Agency has said it is deeply distressed by the discovery of almost 100 naked men at the border between Greece and Turkey. The 2 countries have blamed each other for the plight of the 92 migrants. Greece laid the blame at Turkey's door, saying its behavior was a shame for civilization, while Turkey branded its neighbor's claims as fake news and accused it of cruelty. As both sides blamed each other, the UN Refugee Agency called for an investigation and said it was deeply distressed by the shocking reports and images. Greek police said they rescued the 92 men who were discovered naked and with some injuries close to its northern border with Turkey on Friday. It was not clear how and why the men had lost their clothes. In business news this morning, the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, recorded a cumulative internally generated revenue of 1.89 trillion naira in 2021, an increase of 21.5% compared to 1.56 trillion naira recorded in the previous year. This is according to recent data on states IGR released by the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS. The total internally generated revenue recorded by the states rose beyond pre-pandemic levels after it dipped in 2020 due to the lockdown measures put in place by the federal government to curb the spread of the pandemic. A further breakdown of the data showed that tax revenue accounted for 65% of the total amount generated in the review period at 1.23 trillion naira, while a sum of 665.89 billion naira was generated from other sources. Meanwhile, Lagos State maintained the top spot in terms of aggregate IGR generation with 753.5 billion naira, followed by Abuja with a total revenue of 131.92 billion naira. In sport news, Kwara United Football Club of Ilorin on Saturday crashed out of the 2022-2023 CAF Confederation Cup following a 0-2 loss to title holders RS Berkane of Morocco. In the second preliminary round second leg match at Stade Municipal de Berkane, the host scored a goal in each half to progress to the group stage of the competition on away goal rule. Kwara United had won the first leg match 3-1 in Lagos last Sunday, but failed to register a single goal this time around. Meanwhile, Nigeria's other representative, Rivers United, lost 6-0 to Wydad Casablanca of Morocco and were thus eliminated 7-2 on aggregate, having won the first leg 2-1. Plateau United Football Club also crashed out of the 2022-2023 CAF Champions League on a away goal rule after succumbing to a late penalty goal against Esperance of Tunisia. The English Premier League continued at the weekend with Arsenal keeping fine form and moving 4 points clear at the top of the table after a 1-0 win over Leeds United. Liverpool handed Manchester City their first loss of the season after a 1-0 win. Chelsea beat Aston Villa 2-0, Tottenham Hotspur beat Everton 2-0, and Manchester United drew goalless with Newcastle. Other results saw Southampton draw 1-1 with West Ham, Brentford beat Brighton 2-0, Leicester City drew goalless with Crystal Palace, Fulham drew 2-2 with Bournemouth, and Wolverhampton Wanderers beat Nottingham Forest 1-0.
Lagos Talks
91.3.